Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third-party slash knockoff review. I'm finally getting around to reviewing this big chap. I've been waiting for the batteries to arrive, but they've just been lost in the mail. So I gave up waiting. I will tell you what batteries he takes and where to put said batteries. But for now, we're going to take a look at the PT-01 Pangu Toys Commander. This is their oversized version of the Magic Square Optimus Prime. It's a big, huge box. There are issues with this figure. I bought two of these. One of them had substantial issues. The one I'm going to be reviewing today has slight issues, but there is still room for concern. But of course, because I got these through ShowZ, any issues that we have with the figure, we can just open up a claim, let the ShowZ team know, and they will help us out as best they can. Now, quick look around the box for this figure. Big, huge box. Got link to their Weibo. You've got the arm communication, you've got the matrix of leadership, lovely posability, comes with his gun, and of course his matrix. Again, we've got some lovely posing there. Look, he can squat. And on the bottom of the box, it actually tells us which batteries are needed and where they go. You need the LR41s for the head and the gun, and we need LR621s for the matrix. And we get this small little block that comes in here as well. That's a magnetic block, so you just tap that on and tap that off to turn the lights on and off. Let's crack him open. And here we have him out of his plastic prison. And as you can see here, all of my panels are kind of offset, so I've kind of run out of space over here. But we're border place now out here, so I'm going to move this into a new study. I'm going to retwig all the backdrop slightly, so it's all kind of central, built offset. That's completely on me. But anyway, Prime is a big, big boy. I'll bring in the Magic Square version of the Magnus. So there's a slight scale difference. He stands about 18 inches tall. Let me just quickly cover the accessories that he comes with. We get his rifle. Batteries just go in here. Really nice big piece. We get a Megatron. It's kind of a mix of what you would get with the official MP, because we get the Starscream head, really nice sculpt on there. We get the battle damaged Prime head. Unfortunately, these all require batteries, so they have those dead eyes. I may just paint the eyes up a very kind of vibrant blue. I don't like necessarily relying on batteries. And of course we do get the Energon axe, which goes over his hand. We get that small magnetic piece, and we get a very kind of iffish collector's card as well. This is the only other Pangu Toys figure I own. And to be honest with you, I'm a little disappointed with Prime. I know there's a lot involved and he's a big figure, but the plastic doesn't feel anywhere near as robust as what we got with their Omega Supremes. Just very kind of lightweight. I was expecting him to be heavier, and I'll cover the issues with mine first. My second one that I got, his arm was completely detached. I'll show you a picture. Basically, there's a screw that goes in, and it looks like the screw is either too short, or that just the thing that it screws through isn't man enough, really. And the arms are just sitting there in the box, so it's completely detached, completely broken. It's going to need a new joint. A lot of those are kind of turning out like that, unfortunately. I'm wondering if there's kind of just a batch, the wrong screw was used or something similar. And this is the issue I have with mine. The waist is crazy loose. I mean, this joint here is just ridiculously loose, and this cannot be tightened. This screw just turns and turns and turns and turns. It's completely being run off, so I assume that that's been over tightened, which is a little bit annoying to say the least. But yeah, I don't know, it's just, he's good. He's a really good looking figure. It's just something feels kind of off with the plastic. He doesn't feel, I don't know, Magic Square are normally incredibly good. I mean, my Magic Square Magnus was phenomenal. This doesn't feel like that. Lots of nice range, lots of great articulation. We know that from what Magic Square offered us. But this, I mean, you can just hear, it's like the plastic, there's been corners cut. It's not a cheap figure. It's not expensive by any means in today's world, looking at how much we pay for some third-party figures. But you don't expect it to come through with arms floating around in the box, that's for sure. I do love the fact we've got this lovely big opening chest. We've got that matrix of leadership. So this is not tabbed in now. Let's just come untabbed as well. It's just little tiny things that should be tabbing in don't necessarily tab in as they should. And these need to go in together at the same time, don't they? There we go. But I don't know. It is what it is. It's pretty much what you would expect. I mean, it looks phenomenal, but just look at that upper torso. That terrifies me. It's not fun. I want it to be fun, but I feel like I'm having to kind of tiptoe around it. Knowing that the other one is broken, I feel that I have to kind of tiptoe around this one to make sure that he doesn't break as well. I mean, we have that socket there. This one is ratcheted, but I'm kind of scared to bring that up. That's nice. You've got a double jointed bend. You've got the pivots in there. Really nice range. Fully articulated fingers. Like, look, things just don't peg and stay where they're meant to. He does have that abdominal crunch. We do have legs that come forwards, out to the side. Really nice bends on those knees. But again, look. Nothing kind of stays where it's meant to. And that, to me, is frustrating. Our Magic Square version, everything tabs and stays in. All the joints work as they're meant to. Nothing scares me. Look at this, look. No issues there whatsoever. It's a really nice, solid piece. Nothing comes untabbed. I just wish this version was the same. Look, just playing with his legs. Things that come untabbed. They don't show you these in the promo videos, do they? Oh, yeah, we're going to make this massive, great toy, but it's going to be an absolute nightmare to pose because everything's going to keep coming untabbed, and you're going to be absolutely terrified that the toy's going to break. I mean, is this going to... Oh, that's scary. Oh. Stay. Stay. Is his proportions different as well? He looks disproportionate. I don't know if it's his arms shorter. He actually looks very much like MP-01, the first Masterpiece Optimus Prime, kind of the big, chunky guy. He's got the kind of that hench stockiness to him. I mean, not that that's a bad thing. I don't know. I do wish I had an insignia that was big enough to go on his arm as well. And just bringing in some bigger bots to show you how he scales. That is the Monocrat Megatron, and he's a big boy. And of course we have the Jinbao and Like Toys upgraded kit version of Devastator as well. So that's an MP combiner. So this guy is a big lump. Obviously, he's not as big as Lewin, but he is, I think, one of the biggest primes. There's been some other big primes out there, but most of those are kind of stylized. I think this and Lewin are the two kind of MP style primes. Obviously, Lewin being based on the MP10. But yeah, he's not as big, but he's still big enough. I guess the options there, you could display him with the Beast Wars figures. I mean, to be honest, that doesn't actually look that bad at all. This is why I got him to go on my nostalgia shelf. I thought he'd fit incredibly well with like the 6-inch or 5.5-inch figures. So I've got just a few here. I'm going to slowly kind of build up my Saturday morning cartoons, including like the Mad Balls as well. I've got those on there as well. But yeah, I've got like the Thundercats and He-Man, the G.I. Joe. I think personally that works really well. That is why I got this guy. That is where he's going to be displayed. If you find these videos useful, why not head over to Shozy or Gundamit using the link in the description below. Before you make that purchase, head up to the top of the page on the Support Your Favourite Reviewer tab and type in Benz. That'll help support the channel and keep these reviews coming. Now, as beautiful as this thing is to look at, he does, of course, transform. So we're going to get him changed up. I'm going to try my best to get everything in shot. I know I'm not the best at doing that. I know I kind of wander off sometimes, so I get a bit carried away and my screen doesn't track where it's meant to, but I mean well. Just a figure of this size is not the easiest to do. We're going to pull these out, extend the hinge out, and just move these up and out of the way for now, just so we've got some space to work with. We're going to open up this chest. This matrix section is going to come all the way out like so. This is going to turn, and this is going to rotate around like so. I've just extended his torso out so we can see what we're doing. Right, let's show you the legs while we're here. Let's bring this up. These are going to untab. So it's going to come down, it's going to open up. The same with this side. Untab, lift this up. This is going to come down, and there's a rotating hinge here. It's going to rotate, and we've got this big section here. This is going to fold inwards, and then this is going to fold over. There we go, and that should line up. He says, I always struggle to line these up. There we go, that's lined up. Didn't struggle at all. This is going to just detach. So we've got enough room to move our knees and all this inner leg system out of the way, like so. There. It's going to come up. This here is going to open up, and like so. That's going to go there. This is going to rock all the way down to that position. This is going to rotate around. This rotates out, around, like so. Push this back down. This is going to come all the way back. It's going to collapse in. This is going to tab. These come in, these come in. This section here comes up, and that's going to push in. And then the foot panel underneath is going to slide under like so. So that is pushed out of the way. This here comes around, whoop, 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 like so. It's gonna come on. These should. Who says? Oh, there's no. Plastic is just so thin now compared to the Magic Square version that you just kind of need to have something more solid to kind of push together. Right, okay, that's kind of in, that's kind of in. Right, okay, now let's move on to the mess that currently is my torso, shall we? Come down to these arms. These are going to open out like so. Fists are going to go flat. Oh, come on, in you go. There, nicely tucking away on the inside. This back panel piece comes away. This section here extends, and we've got this large hinge here that actually now allows this section here to be freed up. That's with all the tyres, and then we've got the whole side panel of the vehicle on here now as well, so that can then rotate around to the front, and we've now got space to move these shoulder panels back into this position here. The head can then rotate and come down. We have this section here which opens up like so. This slides down on this rocking hinge here, slides all the way down like so, and in doing so this allows this to basically, this can now rock on this hinge and rotate. There we go, and that covers off this section here. So this is now nice and tidy. We can now slide that into that void that this created just by rotating that arm around and just squaring up this joint. This is then going to tab in like so and come up, starting to kind of come together now, isn't it? These windows come out, rotate and go round. So come out, rotate and come around like so. This section here opens up. These are going to tuck in and going to tuck in. Basically the aim now is to get all of this over, out of the way, so that this can come down to the front, and then we are going to start tabbing everything into place. There's clasps for things to peg into, and everything just needs to kind of square up. But this is probably the most tricky part, because it's so big and because nothing really wants to stay in place. You need another 7 pairs of hands. Now let's see if we can start with these. Start if we can just apply pressure from the back here. Apply pressure from the back, and that can go there. That can go there. this needs to go to the outside of the window. And outside. And then that's going to go. Oh, down you go. There we go. That's in. That's in. Windows can come out. This is going to fully extend like so. These can then go over these tabs. Come on. There we go. Push and tab, push and tab. This needs to come down. Rotate around like so. This piece here slides down. That comes in, that comes in, that comes down. Come on, there we go, there we go. And there we go, right. There, that's kind of in, that's kind of in. Everything's kind of there. But I don't want kind of, I want in. And here we have him fully transformed up. That was a mission, wasn't it? Thank you for staying with me if you did. Yeah, he's a big boy. But like I said, that was not fun. Wasn't fun at all. I don't know. I think the MP44 still has a better transformation. But it's a good alt mode. Definitely looks the part. But at the same time, it was just really quite complexing doing it at that sort of scale. It's nice that they've got everything to work, but there's that constant fear that something is going to go wrong. You don't get that with the likes of the TE-01, the Transform Element version of Prime. You didn't get that with the original Magic Square version, but I think it's because it's been done on this scale. I don't think the plastic consistency has kind of been taken into consideration. They've used a kind of similar sort of mixture, but oversized it, and obviously you do that, it's going to thin out the plastic. I'm not sure how the ins and outs of it work, but to me, it does definitely feel thinner than I would have liked. I'll bring in Magnus again. I haven't transformed him up because he's going to go straight back on display. But as you can see, I mean, that's a really nice scaled vehicle. I mean, he's actually out of shot, isn't he? There we go, look. So he's a big boy. But yeah, what is interesting though, I think kind of at this scale, what I think is kind of interesting is that we've gone from having a Prime that scales remarkably well with like the 1/12 scale figures to one now that works very nicely with kind of, what are the masks? They're not 1/18, are they? They're probably smaller than that. But these, I think, actually work remarkably well. This is a good scale for these. I can see Matt Tracker kind of driving in Prime. I mean, my mask figures have seen better days, but to me, that works. So, if I can't get a replacement part for my other Prime, I may just keep him transformed up into his vehicle mode and have him displayed with the mask collection. There are always ways and means, but Shozi being Shozi are pretty darn helpful, and they do go out of their way to try and fix any issues that we have. Do you have this Prime? How do you feel about the plastic? Is this an amazing figure to you, or is it a bit, yeah, which is kind of the impression I got from it. I mean, it's not a bad figure by any means, but I really do hope they kind of do a version 2 where they just iron out these niggles and sort out that shoulder. Buying an action figure can't be like entering the lottery. You know, you need some sort of consistency, and we need to know that the figure's not going to fall apart as soon as you open that box. I'll include a link in the description below where this is purchased from. If you do want to purchase one, please just bear in mind those issues that some of these figures have. And like always, if you do use Shozi, feel free to use the Ben's code at the top there, which helps support this channel. Until next time, for myself and the rest of the Collectibles household, thank you all very much for watching. Bye.